So very often when we think about smoking or tobacco, as Christians we have one answer, of course, that it is wrong. But the issue is also slightly more complex, perhaps, and also far more intense and deep. And perhaps what we're going to do today is to discuss that with SJ Chander, the co-founder of the consortium for tobacco-free Karnataka. Now, why do we have to discuss about this topic? Yeah, as Christians, I think it's important for us to bring up these issues, not just in terms of what and how it affects us as Christians, but also because we have a responsibility to society. So maybe can you help us understand, as Christians, we are obligated, we have been asked to look after the environment. Can you help us understand what tobacco has to do with the environment? Yeah.
Thanks, Bobby, for having me here. Unfortunately, many people, even the society or the tobacco user, do not know the environment implications, very serious environment implications. First, the smoker inhales only 15% of the smoke. Remaining 80% of the smoke is a free gift to people around. Unfortunately, the passive smoking, people are not aware of the implications. It equally harms. Same as active smoking, passive smoking equally hazardous as harmful as active smoking. The new research has come out about the third hand smoking. The residues, a person, even if the person alone smokes in a room, all the smokes, the residues gets implanted on the walls. It can also affect people's health later.
Yeah, but what about pollution? Yeah.
You know,
and how does that, yeah, what if someone says, anyway, Bangalore is polluted, what's the difference?
We are really adding to that. Recently, right now I'm running a campaign here. Every year around the World No Tobacco Day, around the theme we do a campaign. This year, the environment related. WHO gave a theme, tobacco threat to environment. So how can I meaningfully run a campaign such as tobacco affects environment because the tobacco processing, each kg of tobacco to cure, they need 7 kgs of wood. 90% of the forest is cut. So I can't, Bangaloreans, I can't. Of course, it's relevant, but I thought about how can I make it relevant, the environment issue. Bangalore City Corporation is so concerned about waste, solid waste, wet waste, segregation. In the waste, something comes in with the cigarette butts. There are 7,000 toxins are there in a cigarette. So that is left it in the environment for about 10 years. Sometimes it takes decades to decompose.
Wow, okay.
That's what the campaign is about. So it's affect the environment not only through passive smoking, but that people even spitting. They just spit it, it's harmful. People chew tobacco, have to spit it. People smoke, have to emit the smoke and throw the butt. So definitely, as Genesis 1:26, as believers, God said, take care of the environment. But smoking habit definitely adding to destroying the environment.
So 2 questions here. Yeah. So one is, it's the health effect. The second thing is, even though people know the impact that it has on people's health, those pictures on those cigarette packets are actually quite frightening, yet people smoke. What is motivating them, or what is sort of driving them to do that? Yeah.
To talk about health implications on tobacco, head to foot effect, it affects all part of the body. There is no part tobacco because it gets into your bloodstream. So blood flows everywhere, wherever blood flows, it affects. To talk about smokers who can become bald very soon, it affects the eye, eyesight it affects, throat, mouth, heart, lungs, and for men, importantly, it causes impotency in men and infertility in women. Young people silently must be suffering because nicotine, one of the toxic substance in tobacco, blocks the arteries. That's how it causes heart attack or lung diseases or something called a Burgess disease, gangrene of feet. For BD smoker, it is eye. So tobacco definitely affects the body from head to foot. Not only the tobacco user's body, passive smokers or people around them, it affects.
People are still sort of aware of the effects to some extent, and still there are people who are aware but still are sort of driven to keep smoking. So what do you think could be driving them to do that?
This is where we have tobacco, unfortunately, socially and legally approved product. See, you just go around in the any public place, you see somewhere somebody smoking. So it's a socially acceptable behavior.
Correct.
And it's a legal product too. But it is, unfortunately, the society does not know it's more addictive than cocaine or heroin.
Oh, really? Okay.
It is.
How is...
So we have banned drugs, but this is where, because of its social acceptance and legal acceptance and the huge money it generates, we are not able to take a stand as we are taking with drugs. But in fact, the truth is it's more addictive. That's what makes, despite all the implications, people continue to use it because it's highly addictive.
How does it affect the smoker? That's one question. And perhaps, maybe you can begin with that. Yeah.
I've calculated if a smoker, because it's a highly addictive, they need to sustain. It's a pleasurable poison. The effects of all the toxins, and it gives pleasure for a momentary period. They need again the same pleasure. That's how it becomes a chain smoker. We call chain smoker because they want the same pleasure again. That's how they're compelled to go again, take another. No, they need to maintain the pleasure. Not only pleasure, once they are addicted, normal routine work they won't be able to carry out without a nicotine shot.
So that's why they take these smoking breaks. Yeah. Fair enough.
So within 8 seconds, a nicotine enters your bloodstream and enters your brain.
So would people argue that it increases their productivity?
It is.
It does. Okay.
Unfortunately, it affects the health. At what cost? See, without a nicotine shot, you can do the same output, productivity.
Okay.
Once you have corrupted your system by giving a nicotine, it protests. Your body will protest. Unless you give me nicotine, a cigarette, I will not allow you to do normal. Who's responsible? Otherwise, without any influence, you can do the same output. Now, because you got used to this addiction, you need it.
So now, e-cigarettes, people are saying, are not that, it doesn't affect us that much. That's one. So can you maybe build on that a bit? Yeah.
One of the brand is called IQAS. The brand name is, you know what IQAS means? I quit ordinary smoking. If people are objecting smoking in public places, don't worry, we'll give a smokeless product.
So what impact does it have? Yeah.
Same nicotine, the same liquid that loaded, but dangerous, because at least smoking, children can be caught openly, but this is very dangerous. Silently they use like a pen, keep it in a pocket. Nicotine addiction, same decade. It's the same addictive pleasure that tobacco gives and e-cigarette gives.
Same.